So we're going to feature some clips today from an interview I did last week with Nate. Nate has been with us for several years now. We love working with him on the Veeam side. He's very generous with sharing his time with us because he's got a business to run. It's Veeam's business. We're a pretty big company at this point. We've got lots to do, but he's super passionate about sharing some of our own experiences here at Veeam with our community because at the end of the day, I think the space continues to evolve rapidly, and it's such a cliche in anything you do in IT, like everything changes really fast. Correct. But it seems to be changing even faster than what we're all used to. And so I think being able to share some of these insights and trends that we're seeing, it's just going to make us all be able to make decisions faster. Nate in particular leads a big team here at Veeam. He spent over 10 years at F5. He has experience working at KPMG, managing Microsoft, Amazon, F5. He's also a US Army vet. So we really love chatting with him because I think he is all about that team camaraderie and really building kind of value together as a group. So you'll see that as a trend throughout some of these clips. First, I wanted to feature a clip from my interview last week talking a bit about building vendor trust, especially as his teams are thinking about infrastructure changes and application changes and, what is that right fit approach. So let's go ahead and roll that clip and then Cade and I'll talk a bit about it.
All right, thanks for having me, Leah. Thanks for the question. So when I think about what I'm seeing in the market with the partners that we work with, I think of them in kind of two kind of buckets. One, you have your vendors who are more your traditional kind of, you're focused on licensing, you're focused on cost. They're not truly embedded within your organization, and so we have software vendors that are in that kind of space. Then we also have our strategic partners. And this is really what I'm excited about and where I see the market going is we have a mutual, it's a beneficial relationship and it's mutually beneficial for both of us. Those are the partners that I want to work with. They're actually embedded within our organization. Their success and our success are intertwined. And what I see is an emergence of, as we're working through those types of relationships with partners, they're in that kind of 3, 4, maybe even 5-year contracts that we're signing up. And I think that's great, right? We want to make that investment within their technology. We want to see the true value of it. Sometimes it takes time to do that. I'm also seeing the emergence of a lot of customer success managers embedded within our organization from our strategic partners. So they're part of our organization. We're measuring KPIs, how we're doing with their solutions. What's also exciting about that is we're able to inform the product roadmaps that our partners have. By them being embedded within our operations, we're able to inform them of the emerging needs that we have. And so by doing that, they are able to actually build their product to support our needs. And it's exciting. At the end of the day, we want to get the most value out of our partners. And I see that continuing to evolve and mature. And as we continue to kind of intertwine our relationship. And so excited to see, and I think it's a great place that the market is moving.
Awesome. So, Nate was super generous with his thoughts there. And I had heard from his team before about this idea of vendors versus partners and what an important distinction that is, and really offering some ideas of how you can build more of a partner relationship. And Cade, I know in particular, when you meet with Veeam customers, that's always the sentiment that we're trying to drive. In particular, road mapping was something that Nate mentioned. Do you want to talk a bit about why, a lot of our customers are looking for that information from us, again, from the lens of looking at us as their partner in resilience?
Yeah, and it's always great to hear from Nate, like customer zero, right? But yeah, in regards to like my role out there in the field is definitely about delivering what we're doing, where we're going, what the vision, what the strategy looks like, what the nuts and bolts that are coming down the line, and really customers just want that. I guess they want that hug basically to say, we're going in the right direction. Like if we were to turn around and just say, yeah, we're not going to do anything this year, we're just going to concentrate on really legacy old school servers. We're not going to really do anything in the cloud or within Kubernetes. Like that's not going to give them the future, the hug that they're going to want. And even though that customer might never ever go to Kubernetes in 2025, just knowing that we're thinking about where they could be going is always a good feeling, I guess, from a customer point of view. And I'd couple that with a lot of those roadmap sessions is also coupled with a lot of feedback. The feedback that I gets fed into product management and R&D for us to go and look at all the other areas. Like when I first started, Leah, about the same time that you had your first stint here, we had one product, right? We looked after virtual machines on VMware and Hyper-V. That's it. Now, if you look at the portfolio, it's like 22 different platforms that we protect, and that all comes from a feedback loop of the industry about our customers and where they're going. And I think that's super important. Like without that, we don't necessarily always know what road to take.
Absolutely. And I mean, I vividly remember being part of the launch teams for Agent for Windows, Agent for Linux, Veeam Backup for Microsoft 365. And so much of that continuous improvement and innovation comes from our community engagements and really hearing from you all what you're being challenged by. So not only keep that up with the Veeam team, but keep that up with your vendor relationships in general. I know sometimes you feel like you're screaming into the void, but I promise as technology gets more and more sophisticated and we're able to claw feedback from a million different places, vendors hear it. Right. So even if it may seem like we're just screaming about it, it does somehow get through.